And we're live. What a hook, huh? It's Monday night. It's Labor Day, the 4th of September in 2023. And I thought, with the dearth of things on right now, making sure I'm not stomping or stepping on anybody else's live right now, I thought throw out one and see if people are out and about, if they wanted to discuss or share what's working, what's not working, what they had hoped to achieve or what they did achieve, making sure that we reinforce the importance of our non-scale victories rather than getting caught up in what the scale may be telling us. Hi, Laura. How you doing? Good to see you. How's how has your day been? Have you been able to take the day off, or are you been working anyway? Trying to set things up here. I apologize if I seem just a tad bit distracted. Yes, that's what I want to do. I want to turn my phone down because nothing worse than my phone blasting out with a call. Like, "Rrr, rrr, rrr." So, hey, Mike Shaw, how you doing? How you doing? Are you rested up finally? I know yesterday you were just a wee bit on that tired side. You good? Oh, you've been laboring. Okay, good. Well, it is Labor Day, so good on you. Um, all right. So let me make sure. Okay, I kind of am big into that. There we go. Yeah, I missed all the lives that were today. I took kind of the day off from watching and participating a bunch. I instead I took a nap. That was good. I enjoyed my nap. What else did I do today? I I had this thinking ukulele, a little pineapple, and I just can't seem to get the knack of playing it. So I did an open C tuning and figured, yeah, it's out of tune. Bad. So I've got to retune it. Anyway. Oh, yeah. So long time no see. So where we? Hey, it's Landwell. How you doing, Jeremy? You good? How do you do? Well, I do okay. I do okay. I've just been relaxed. We took the dogs out today. We went to the local, I don't know the local, but a local park is a family that left about 80 acres to the county as long as they'll use it for a public space. And there's a shooting range, swimming pool, a track, and a great place for camping and all that stuff. And we took and a small pond, and we took the dogs out there. And they love to go out there and think they're going to get the geese. You entered to question my protein consumption. I think, yikes! I get that. So, Laura, I guess I've read in many places that as you up that protein, that can be a thing that's a reality there. I hope it's getting better for you. Hey, though, Lisa, how are you? Welcome, welcome. I again, I want to make sure I reinforce for all of you that you can feel free to promote your channel in here. So if you have a link to your channel and you want to put it in there, by all means, put it in there. Hello, Susan. Good to see you. Good to see the crew. Yep. I thought tonight I try to use a creative way of titling our little jamboree, our little get together tonight. Figured since it was Labor Day and many people were going to be doing lots of different things, I thought that a days hang out at Scotty's. And what did I say? It's Monday and the carnivores are out and about. Feel free to drop in and share your thoughts and ideas while we explore what is working, what may not be working as expected. And already, Laura has informed us that the extra protein is, pardon me, I'm not trying to be all like that. Laura's informed us that the higher protein is causing consternation for her innards. So that's difficult. Lisa, you're doing great. Susan, okay. The Gathering. Yeah, I know I call it The Gathering. That's what I did yesterday. I don't want anybody to get uh, um, wigged out by it. I don't know what to call it, but it's just a gathering of like-minded people who are going to express, well, what's going on. Lawnmower says, unfortunately, I was not able to, let's see, I'm not able to leave. The restaurant is closed today and tomorrow. Well, some people need some time off, and there's nothing wrong with that. Well, you know what? I need to put my hearing aids in. I knew I was missing something. The old hearing aids. You all will appreciate that because my diction improves dramatically, not maybe grammatically, but dramatically with the addition of these devices. I am profoundly deaf and in the upper registers, so I don't really finish the ends of my words, and then I don't hear the ends or beginning of many other words. Busy day tomorrow, busy week, exciting times. All right, Mike, what's on the horizon for you? Are you launching a new channel, taking a new job, or are you going out to harvest corn? Because I understand they have a lot of corn there in Iowa. I don't want to be corny about it, but that's all I really need to say. Yeah, and setting up things for this week. I have been helping a young man, and I think I've mentioned it before. His parents are unavailable to be parents by choice or by legal means, and his grandfather, who's been watching him, and grandmother's been in a nursing home for 16 of his 18 years, or 14 of the 18 years he's been alive, and Grandpa's been in the hospital for months now. So those of us in the church are picking up the slack, and we've been doing a lot with that. So there's pills for that. One of the few chemicals I approve of these days. I get that. There you go. Oh, it's not noticeable, Susan? Well, for me it is, and I've been working really hard. And one of the things that has been helping me the most is that my daily reading from the 1-year chronological Bible, I read each day, and I've been trying as the year went on to enunciate and pronounce each letter and syllable as it should be, or to the best of my ability. I hope it helps. Lana is studying for Microsoft. Oh, cert, there you go. Which cert are you studying for, Lana? Because Microsoft has a number of those certs. So yeah, I'm trying to multitask, and you know what? It is not one of my strongest suits. No, it is not. But I do know. Yeah, Susan, for a long time, without the hearing aids, and when I was younger, I have what I was diagnosed with a bilateral list, and what it was is I couldn't hear. I went 58 years. And I think I told you that I was classified as retarded when I was in kindergarten. And I think maybe it was a hearing thing, but that's water long gone under the bridge. All right, so you got to start studying. My Lana says he's starting the, oh, wow, Cloud Path. That's way above. I was going to get to learn some of that because I want to do the Microsoft BI. And oh, by the way, Lawnmower, have you talked much with My Metamorphosis on this stuff? Because I do believe she is an IT person. Because we talked, she uses BI, and I don't know, but you might talk to her if she comes on. That'd be great. That's awesome that you're to do that, because that's a lot of stuff to study. When I was working and doing acquisitions for the federal government, at other times, I've held lots of little jobs, can't keep a job. And one of the jobs I was a knowledge engineer. Then I was a data analyst manager, and people were wanting me to do more with business intelligence to help with their business. And I looked up that Azure, and I was like, yeah, no, not going to happen. Mike, so my open house for a podcast, nonprofit after church. I have videos to edit, plus we record a show and a half tomorrow. Wow, yeah, that's a lot of editing there, Mike. I'm sure you have your hotkeys and you've got your stuff pretty well set up to do that, but that's a lot of editing for sure, for sure. It was recommended to me from the head. Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, hey, I learned the hard way, Jeremy, that I wouldn't say the hard way, but I worked in the business development arena for a number of years for both large and small defense contractors. And what I learned was, while it's great to have a degree, um, they really need people with certs. Certs drive a lot of things. Hey, it's Woodster. How you doing, buddy? Everything going well for you today? Hey, I did see you have that video with the giveaway for the air fryer. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I hope that that drives some people to your space, but more importantly, I hope that someone gets it that really needs it, can really utilize it. You like editing? Editing's so much fun. I've actually done editing. I'm sure you have, Mike. I doing it on tape. That was more fun. Oh, really more fun. Yep, Woodster's in. There you go, everybody. It's got the gang together, so to speak. Almost feeling like the Rat Pack. Well, not many of you will remember the Rat Pack. I only know it because I got lucky and watched some of that stuff. I always liked Dean Martin. Hey, it's Carnivore Backwoods. How are you? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Carnivore Backwards. I hope backwards. I hope everybody knows everybody. We have a Woodster and a Backwoods. Do not confuse them. Yeah, real editing. Yep. My dad was really into that, and when my father was stationed in Germany and as a dependent in 1973, he bought a TIAC reel-to-reel quadraphonic system. Oh, my father loved his TIAC quadraphonic system with the JBL speakers, which he still has to this day. And then he bought another one of those quadraphonic reel-to-reels, and I used to play with that a lot. It was a lot of fun. I don't have any talent, so yeah, I don't do it. The Radio 84, reel-to-reel, and razor blades. Yep, cutting at a diagonal. I got a job part-time working in a television station as a kid, and I would play around in the splicing room. Going good, working the stream setup, and then my camera stuff. Oh, man. Good. Okay. Oh, there's no competing here, but I will tell you something. Well, I'll tell you. I won't show you. I have this behemoth of a gaming system here that came with, I want to say 16 gigabyte of RAM or 32, but I upped it to 64 gigabyte of RAM, and it's got a NVIDIA GeForce bloppity bloppity blop. It's a pretty good one. I got it because I was trying to do that gaming thing. So I have stuff. What I need is content. Hey, low carb carnivore back in the house. How are you? How are you? Good to see you. Yep. Oh yeah, dull blades. That's right. Dull blades make for unhappy edits, and those edits, if you're not careful, would pull apart. If I remember correctly. Yep. Anyhow, just eating some dinner now. Sweet. Hey, what did everybody have for food today? Well, we're getting used to seeing everybody pile in. And hey, by the way, smash that like button. Smash, like, share. You know the dance. All right. Brent, Lisa, everybody. Hey, we have got the band back together again. But it's a good machine. It does its job. One of my fans is too loud. And there's a story behind all this, but I'm not healed enough to talk about it. I'm going to have to replace one of the banks of fans, and I did not get a liquid cooled one. Something about that just freaked me out. But I got to replace the fans on it. It's loud. It is a loud system. I don't even know what it really is, to be honest with you. I just went and Again, I don't know that we are all ready for all this blah 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 I might have. I think I have. Yes, I tore off part of the box. I'm a horrific keeper of stuff, so that's what I have right there. There you go. Got it? Get it? Done. No, no. What? It is a cyber power PC, which whatever. Let's see. Intel i7 12700F 2.1 gigahertz. Like I said, 64 gigabyte of DDR4 memory. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060 Ti with 8 gigabyte on board. And then it goes with the PCIe stuff and hard drives and 7-color gaming mouse, gaming keyboard, all blah. You got it. Yep, it's a computer. It works. It sits right there in a big case. And let's see. My first computer was 46. Oh yeah. I remember trying something of it. I remember when we got our first computer at in the military, and the what was it? It was a Zenith 248, right? And I'll never forget our NCO. He was like, who on God's green earth thought we could ever use 300 megabytes of hard drive? And with that 300 megabytes of hard drive, it was so vast that we had to get a computer nerd in there to section out that hard drive. So we had a C, D, E, F, and maybe even a G drive, because there's no way you would use 300 megabytes. Yeah, that's what it is. So anyway, we know now how sad that really was. Yep, installing DOS. Oh yeah. I remember when we were using a program called Peach Text, and everything was hotkey commands. My PC build is dated. My brother and I built back in 13. Yep, yeah, that's. So what drove it is I got this silly camera, this face cam, and it was crashing my system, my other system. And I had so much other stuff on there, and I'm not very good at taking care of almost anything. Just look at my body. And so what happens, I went to Best Buy, and I used my Best Buy card, and I figured I'd get it and I'd pay it down and no interest. So, it's free money. And well, I kind of hid that purchase from my bride. And I decided what I would do to pay it off is I'd go donate my plasma and then take my plasma receipts and pay it off. But this big honking piece of glass and metal with the bright lights, it kind of called attention to itself, notwithstanding the colored mouse and all the games. And anyway, long and short of it is, I was found out, and that's my cross to bear. So we got here. Everybody's saying hi still. We're doing things. Everything's good. Okay. My dad's friend has a TRS 80. Yeah. Trash 80. Yep. Used to do some program. Yeah. I never could do it. But so back to, yeah. So back to what happened with that computer. I asked the young man. Now I worked in the weather business. You all know that. And we tend to have some people who can be pretty intelligent, nerdy people, and they join the military because they don't believe they can do the work, and then they find out later they do. But anyway, Bob Morrissey. Anyway, young Robert. And young Robert was our local IT, organic IT guy, and he could do all this stuff. And you had to write and do your paperwork and do all your packages and stuff to higher headquarters in this Peach Text suite of software. And you, of course, had DOS and Peach Text. And so there are a lot of commands. And so one day I had to do some of this. So I go and I get the guy who's smart. I say, hey, it's a Saturday. I get Bob in. I said, Bob, I need you to show me how I can do this form and how I get it done. So he sits down, he does it once, I watch him. Then we sit down and we write it down step by step. Because, I want to see it at real speed. Then we write down the steps and he's telling me and I'm writing the steps. Do this, do that. Well, hit the Control Alt plus and 17 keys in your elbow and make sure you squint and you'll get a semicolon, right? So you do all this stuff. And I sit down and I start to fill it out. I get to a point and it doesn't work. And I said, Bob, it's not working. He said, well, yeah, of course it's not working because you didn't hit the shift caps lock tab F11 key. Well, Bob, where's that written in our instructions? Well, everybody knows that. Well, Bob, I don't know that. So I get down, I put the little instruction in on the side, and now I'm going back to kind of knitting my fingers together on the keyboard, and it didn't work. And Bob goes, well, of course it didn't work. You didn't hit the space bar 3 times, the N once, and 5 6s, and an F5. So I got very, very close to Bob, and Bob was a normal person, about 5'5", 160 pounds. I'm very close to Bob. And I said, Bob, do you know how to fly? He's a little nervous at this moment. No, I don't know how to fly. Well, you're going to have to learn real quick because there's a window and you're leaving it. The next time this stops working because I don't have the instruction written down. So Bob spent another hour or so making sure everything was written down so I could do this. Now we get the Microsoft. All you have to do is go, well, geez, I'll just do it. And all the stuff behind the glass that goes on, it makes it such a big pig of a software suite. But that's where we are. But yeah, I never really did learn how to do all that stuff. No, Bob ended up doing a lot of stuff. Bob got pulled off of some duties just so that he could get those things done. Yeah. Hello there, no insanity. Miss Renee is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Renee. Yep. So, yeah. So what do we have here? I want to get a steady job to get back to Adobe Premiere Pro and after. Yeah, I do love Adobe Premiere. When I went to school, I learned on the Apple thing, but I had Adobe Premiere when I was doing photography more, and I didn't mind, and I had a regular job, and they're paying me nice. I didn't mind that monthly subscription, but because I like to use Lightroom, but that's not happening anymore. So I don't do much photography either. It's kind of sad. Yep, fancy stuff. You definitely do professional with that. No doubt. Good to know. Everybody's saying hi. So now Mike says, Bob never got KP. No. Well, technically, none of us did. We were doing Army support. And so when the Air Force and the Army were split in 1947, September 19th, 18th, 1947, the Army decided to let the weather people go with that new pain in the backside group of people called the Air Force, but they signed a memorandum of agreement where the Air Force would provide weather people to do the things that the Army needed. And I was lucky enough to get chosen for that. So I got to go play Army. It was special. And so in the memorandum was the dictate that Air Force people would not do guard duty. We would not do KP and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So Bob never got KP anyway, but Bob did okay. I took care of Bob. Bob was good. I have no idea why sometimes my phone gives the accent and others not. Why do I do why my phone gives the accent and others not? Laura, I have totally. Oh, you mean over the E? Renee? I don't know. I had Photoshop that had been hacked a few times because they started the membership, but my computer flooded here and all. Well, I have Photoshop. Matter of fact, I have that box somewhere around here because I know I have Photoshop Elements, but I never learned to use Photoshop. What I want to do or need to do is I need to find a smart person. I need a Bob. I need my Bob to know how to do Photoshop, and I want to learn to use FL Studios. It's called Fruity Loops. but FL Studio so I can make music and stuff. But I don't have it. I don't understand it. It's not in my it's not in my wheelhouse of knowledge. Have you all ever used, and right now for all my editing, I use Power Director 365 as a Cyberlink thing. It may, it's not my favorite thing. It makes bloated program files, and so I'm not real good with that. But it is what it is. I just opened up my FL Studio. So have anybody? Okay, first of all, okay, Lord, yep, Photoshop. Yep, I need to learn it. Yeah, we all need it. I know he works in XP. Yeah, YouTube is your Bob. Yeah, Mike, I tried that, but I'm so old school, you know, boomer, that I like when people can talk to me and they can say and look over my shoulder and go, no, that's not what you need to do. But you get what you get and you don't throw a fit, right? So I wonder if I could share this. Nope, it's not going to let me share it. Boo hoo. Boo boo. What about window? Oh, yeah. See, now I'm learning how to do this. All right. So this is the FL Studio. Oh, you're boomer. Boomers rule. Yeah. So this is my FL Studio, and you can write your own music in here, right? And sometimes I like to play with it. So I'm gonna play. Do you mind? Do you mind? We'll go with a little flex. I don't know how this is going to work. And if it doesn't work, please, please forgive me. I do not mean to be inappropriate. But, and we'll get the volume down. I don't know how this is going to work. So y'all hang on. Okay, let's see if we can do this. I'm going to go to my favorites. And I'll go like here. This is a little fun one. I don't know how it's going to work. Take the volume down, put the volume down a little bit. Anyway, so that's what I do and play around. Another way I drive my bride kind of crazy. So we'll just stop setting. We'll stop that for now. What does this do? Stop the screen. There we go. YouTube's your Bob. I got it. All right. So Renee, I don't want anybody to get out of the way. Oh, so that's the beautiful thing about all of this, right? Is that we each have different ways we do it, right? And I and my wife have many roles that we have somewhat reversed. Mike, life is self-taught. I get it. What our roles are reversed is that I'm a type of man who will walk into a store and I'll grab the first person who has a name tag from that store on, and I'll ask them where something is. If I drive down the street and I can't find what I'm looking, I will stop and I will ask or look and do. And not so much the missus. One, the missus is never lost. I'm always lost. Two, she's not going to ask anybody for help until it's like the bottom of the ninth or the bottom of the ninth and the 3 outs. You know what I mean? Then she's going to ask for a change in the picture. So it's just me. And we're different that way. My first one came with a 60, it came about 63. This was I get that. My dad, my grandfather, I mean, my mom's father, he was very much so. So the guy's even pre-boomer, and he got himself an IBM. And Grandpa had been very successful in life, but you wouldn't know it looking at him because he was a survivor of the Depression. And what happened is my grandpa would always do something for himself. And then when he got his IBM, he was on speed dial with the IBM help desk because he was getting into the CMOS and getting in doing it where he shouldn't have ever been. But that was Grandpa, and he was very successful, so it worked out. Yep, don't waste time looking for something. Find something that knows. That's me. My ignorance is limitless. So I like to find people who can help me find the border and help me. 3.5 discs. I still have some. Also have the 5-inch discs. Yeah. And isn't it amazing? CDs are becoming the thing of the past. I didn't even get a CD with this computer, so I had to use an external one and hook it up. This is how we learn. Break some eggs, make an omelet. Eventually, yeah. Well, yeah. I think some of us are just built different. Their parent had to keep inserting a new one. Yes. Yep. And oh my, could you get a virus off a floppy disk? Yep. First computer I built was a pain. I got better. Well, I've never done it. I've always been that guy that made IT people happy because I came in with my checkbook. Especially when I used to work, I used to say my superpower is writing checks. That was my superpower. I got nothing else. Did you hear Reagan tell the smart aleck who said the old company? Yep. I remember that. I think very true. The very true statement. But like my dad, I spoke of last night. Brilliant man, multiple degrees, multiple career fields, brilliant man. But it's not there now that he's 88. And so now his cell phone is almost a bridge too far. So it's a factor of age, not where we came from. But it was absolutely correct that he also said he wasn't going to hold it against his opponent that he was so young. That was another great line. Yep. Yeah, love that guy. Yeah, I know you did, Mike. Yeah, I have to take the steps written out, picture up. Yep, that's right. I'm right with you. I'm very visual. Unfortunately, I have bad eyes, so now it's even harder. But the things we want to do, we learn, right? Technology illiterate. Yeah, I can't say I'm technology illiterate. I can just say that at this stage in my life, I've grown weary of the learning, and sometimes the learning curve is straight up, and it's hard. It's hard. Notes, most of them said, do not do it. Well, how about, it's like when you get the instructions to build a tricycle. Anybody do a tricycle build late at night on Christmas Eve into Christmas morning? Or any number of, I've never owned IKEA furniture because I don't run in those circles. But I remember putting a tricycle together, and it said in like step 36B, don't do this until you've done step 40. And I was like, I did it. And it was the end cap that goes on the wheel that is impossible to remove unless you have a blowtorch. Yeah, that tricycle never rode quite right because I threw it so hard. Yeah. Everyone has different gifts and talents. Yep. I think we make sure we need each other. Mike, I think you're absolutely right there. And how boring would it be if everybody was just as good at everything that everybody else is doing, right? Out of curiosity, anybody here utilize Rumble for content? Rumble. I did when it was brand new, but I didn't anymore. And I've known some of the people who work at Rumble. I think, anyway, some of those things, and I just decided to stay away from it. Tried to put together entertainment with instructions. One, Lydia ruined it, and yep. Well, I'm sitting at a desk right now that I won't show you a picture of because it is messy, but I made it. I went to they call it a store, Lowe's. I went to the prefab pine board countertops. I took one of those and I cut it to pieces. I got one full sheet and I took another cut in half, put that on the side for legs, trimmed out some 1x2s, rounded them over, painted stem, put some other stripping on the front just to finish it, stained it. And then on top of it, I built a riser out of, looks like it's a 2x10 pine, and put 3 risers, 1, 2, and 3, and I can put stuff underneath and put my monitors up. So yeah, no IKEA for me. So let's see. Podcast is on YouTube and Rumble. Okay. All right, Mike. I'll have to take a look at it. By all means, please post some of those links in here so we can get to them. Okay. Hey, Don Murr, it's been a minute. How are you? Yeah, howdy, howdy. Happy Labor Day to you too. I hope that your labors were fun and things you wanted to do, not had to do. Lord, my father worked for Pan America as system manager. He wrote me in. Okay. I remember his manhouse before. Yep, Pan Am building. I miss the old Pan Am. I remember flying on Pan Am and TWA when I went to Germany in 1971. Yep. Mike says YouTube removed one of our videos. Been on what you were talking about, Rumble. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. Yeah. I know. I got disappointing news today too on that whole front with silly YouTube, but I'm not going to let it ruin my day. Yes, that's why I'm uploading it to Rumble as well. I get it, Lawnmower. Yep. I don't have Rumble. If anyone is interested, okay. Oh, you're loading. You have to run. Yeah, again, if you guys want to post your links in here, feel free. All right, just links like that. Okay. I don't think I'll get banned by anybody if you do a link. Yep, Rumble's okay. It's good. It's good. It has its unique stuff. Yep. And Renee, I dated a guy in A2 that was A2, and the computer took up a huge room. Yeah. Yep. That's the way it was. Very expensive stuff too. Slow for you. Well, it's hard when those systems are growing so fast. I'm sure one of your more technologically capable individuals can talk to how as more and more people get on it and the bandwidth, it's tough. And I wouldn't be surprised if our federal government isn't doing all it can to throttle back anybody with a counter point. And I'll leave it like there. That's as delicate as I can be. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the government stripped a bunch of their routes, and yep, that's what happened. It's the gov, and yeah, it's a tough thing. I mean, you know, I think it's a good thing that maybe perhaps more of us do more reading of this, because what happens when they decide to shut down Bible websites? Don't have it on your phone anymore, right? People say it won't happen, but it happens in other countries already. So I think it's important to have the important things tucked away right here. Yep. Let's see. I spent most of the last. Oh, what happened, Dawn? A chicken bone call? Oh no! Oh no! Oh, Dawn, I'm so sorry. I hope we'll definitely be lifting you up in prayers for your speedy recovery. That's not. It's gotta hurt. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Soft foods for a while, huh? Nothing spicy either, huh? Yep. I get that, Laura. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope you do feel better. Stupid bones. Yep. Yes, Rumble is an app. I think you can. But is it an app or is it a website? Yeah, I think it's an app. Yeah. Always have hard copies. Yep. You know what I wanted to do? I was thinking about getting a. You can go there in the browser too. Good to know. Yeah, you just have to build it, and you build a profile. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, I wanted to actually think about getting some important books and information written on etched aluminum pages. I mean, I don't want to get a tablet and a chisel, but pretty close, right? An app and a website. Yep. That's right. But you can buy on. I highly recommend. I am not a prepper, but I'm not against being prepared. but you could get the at one of the Special Forces field guide for survival. That will have a lot of good information on a lot of things people do not know the first thing about. So that's really good. And then, of course, scripture, and then maybe some farming, some chemistry, some herbal and natural medicine type treatments. Put that on stuff that won't go away. But you know what else you need? I don't think anybody think about it, is um, a book on how to learn how to read. You're going to need somebody to teach the kids how to read. Yep. Yeah, that's got to be so bad, Don. I'm so glad that you're back and you're good. So, what was it? Which part of chicken were you getting into, like the rib bone area or something? Yes, of course the Lord wants you here. Every morning we wake up. I think I'm not saying anybody here, but in general, I think that every morning we wake up, we should acknowledge that if we have breath in our lungs, I mean, to be absent of the body is to be present of the Lord. So you wake up, right? We're here today for today. I think many times that gets lost in um, gets lost in the wash, so to speak, right? Hey, B Dog, good to see you. Welcome to the house of Scotty P, the gathering of like-minded people who are just talking about what works and doesn't work. We just found out chicken bones don't work in the throat. Don, we're glad you're better and you're with us, and hopefully, like I said, you have a speedy recovery. And do you have? It was I know. Yep, back, and it was such a small bone. Yep, get it. I get it. Get it. Well, you're on the road to healing now, and we give praise and thanks for the medical professionals who are able to mitigate that, and we'll be praying for your speedy healing. I'm sure you'll be doing some bone broth and things like that, and because you're going to need some collagen and protein to help with repair of the tissue there. So, yep, yep. Oh, no one's late. No one's ever late if you make it before we turn it off. Like I went to Carrie's broadcast yesterday, and he had a bunch of good people in there, and I saw it, but I was busy because, like I said, I had my friend in town and busy doing things, and the issue was that I got there late. It was the last minute. I was like, hey, and a couple of people said, hey, and then it was done. And that's how it goes. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I do appreciate if you hit the like button. We're doing what we can here. I haven't put out any video content lately. I just haven't been feeling the desire to record and edit. I just rather spend 2 hours talking to you all. Yeah. 60 is only the halfway mark. Yeah, that's right. We're promised 120. So, but we also have consequences for our actions. And I have done so many things that were so, how to use this word, deleterious for my well-being. Yeah. 48 before that's clear of intestinal problems from it. Okay, got it. I get it. Got it. Next 48 hours, we definitely keep you lifted up in our prayers for that. People my wife and I were just talking about it today, about how people don't know what someone's suffering is until they experience. So I have a little bit of arthritis. Now I have arthritis throughout my body, but I've got like painful arthritis in this little knuckle right here. It's not misshapen. It's a normal, for me, it's not a normal finger. But when I bend it, right about there, because now it's a little better because I've been eating more meat. But I had some off diet things on the weekend, and I eat vegetables. And the inflammation came back, little inflammation just right there. And I had a lot of cheese too. So that could have been maybe even some, what is the gout? So, yeah, so some crystals. But that's the only place I have, other than my neck, that I have the arthritis. And I was talking about it, and my wife reminded me that she has it in all her hands and knuckles. And so I have to remember that. So I remember when I got plantar fasciitis. Anybody else lucky enough to get plantar fasciitis? It's a beautiful word. Yep. Yep. Fun day. So, praying you pass it easy, no issue. Yeah, that's it. Yep. Um, so plantar fasciitis. So when I was in the military, I was a physical fitness monitor, the PT monitor. I was the guy who was the fitness a guru and fitness freak, and I did a lot of it. And so I got to do that with people all the time. And I'd always have these older guys, mainly, and some women with older guys, and they would be complaining about their plantar fasciitis. I can't run, Sarge, or shin splints. And me, in my youthful arrogance, I'd give them the old, well, do you have a waiver from the doctor? Yes, Sergeant. And they give me a little wave. Okay, then you can walk. And I was just so short-sighted and selfish at that time. Then one night, carrying my children home from a barbecue, and I had 2 children in my hand walking uphill while my wife was walking with the third. My feet fell and they went. I woke up the next morning in excruciating pain. As I've said, I've been on fire twice. I've been shot at, run over, and stabbed. And this was the worst pain by far. By far. So anyway, now I don't belittle anybody's pain. You gotta go 2 9 rounds of doc tomorrow morning, turning early. Okay, all right. You mix it up with them good. Keep your guard up. Keep your guard up. You know, make them show you the receipts, what they tell you. Okay. And we'll look forward to hearing back from you with a good report. Bones for and heel. Yep. You got to wear the shoes. Yep. And I'm glad that you talked about, but it's gone since going on Carnivore. That is awesome. That is awesome. But yeah, I got that plantar fasciitis, and here, you know, again, I learned my lesson. But I had had 3 children, and my middle child, my first son, he had night terrors. I don't know if any of you have ever had to deal with a child or person in your house who has night terrors. And yeah, no more rough stuff for me. So my son had the night terrors. Yeah, no more rough stuff for me. You're right about that. And so the night terrors, he would wake up screaming as if he were being physically assaulted. And I would be asleep, and my wife would be asleep, and we'd hear this blood-curdling scream. And so you pop right up out of bed, and you go and you tend to your child. And I was ready to defend my child. Only what happened was when I hit the ground, the pain shot up from my feet right through my knees to my eyeballs and my head exploded, and I fell down. I missed hitting my dresser by that much, and I'm on my knees. Now I'm almost screaming, pretty much I guess I was, and my wife was walking by going, yeah, you're okay. I got to go to my child, and which was the right decision. And I learned right then I was not going to jump out of bed if my house was on fire anymore or anything else, because my feet were just destroyed. It took a long, long time, and I have very good support in my shoe, courtesy of the VA for that now. But yeah, no good. Yep, oxalates are irritating. Cheese. Yep, gout is painful. Mine's been helped so much. Yep. You know what I heard, Dawn? I've heard my neighbor takes he takes a dark black cherry extract, and he swears by it. I don't know about that. You have a nephew had those? Those night terrors are no joke. I remember going in to see my son in the middle of a terror, and he thought someone was stabbing him, and I had to hold him and bring him into awareness, and broke my heart. Hello, Allison. Good to see you. Welcome to the gathering this evening on this beautiful, wonderful Labor Day. as we get a short week for most people who are working. Of course, as a retiree, it's another day in the neighborhood. Yeah, I got to tell you, retirement will drive you into being a time manager in a way that you never perhaps had to do that when you work all your life. And so you have a few precious hours in the evening that are dedicated to your family and dedicated to your community. And then you go from that to an empty nest and you have more hours, but you still have most of your waking day with your family and community. And then when you retire, stop working. There are a lot of hours in the day and you can't sleep all of them. That's for sure. Yep. Hello, everybody. You betcha. Yep, you found tart cherry. Yeah, tart cherry. That's it. But carnivore, even more so. I get it. And if that's a good attitude, Mike. That's awesome. Yeah, 6'5". I guess my weeks are just a little more compressed. I saw a heat wave warning, but didn't see for which area. If anybody does anybody know about heat wave warnings? I don't know. Does anybody want to see what the weather is like? We can do the weather. Mr. Scotty likes to do the weather. Can't do the weather as well as Mr. Mike, but we can take a looky-loo right here at the National Weather Service and take a quick gander at this and see what it has to say. It doesn't say, it indicates. What is it indicating? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we see there's some weather out here in Nevada, something up in Montana. The Dakotas have some more almost wintry type precipitation moving in, dry, windy weather in Wyoming. Why not? Because it's Wyoming. We do see an area of concern through Texas and southern Oklahoma. And in the northwest part of central Georgia, we probably have some fog. Upstate New York is also looking for some weather as well. That's the today. Let's take a look at the 3-day weather. Can we do that? Sure, we can do it. Let's drive down here into central Oklahoma. Then I don't really care about central Oklahoma. I want this series of charts. This is the Monday or the 2-day forecast Monday. There you see it. Low pressure in the Dakotas bringing some stormy weather between Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, into Nebraska, the Panhandle, Nebraska, all the way back into northern Arizona. Areas with some low pressures are right along a trough through the central United States, and an area of rain from the central Illinois down into the Gulf of Mexico region. That's today. Let's take a look at Tamale. This is Tamale's weather. We see a more organization, cyclogenesis of this low pressure system going into Minnesota with a cold front draping down through the central part of the United States into New Mexico with widespread rain showers through the Mississippi and Ohio valleys all the way down into Mississippi. High pressure dominating out ahead of that. So again, this is today. This is Tamale. And if we go into Wednesday's weather, this is Wednesday's expected weather. See that low pressure system move a little bit, dig a little bit, start to see the advance of fall coming our way with another frontal boundary up through Montana. That would actually be up here in Saskatchewan and Alberta, low pressure over Washington, then high pressure in behind around Denver, not to be confused with the wrong kind of high, and showery precipitation here through the middle valley area. Other than that, I don't know what the weather's going to be. That's all I've got. All right. Oh, B-Dog 5'5". That's good. All right, let's go. Run through the comments. You're taller than Mike. Yeah, probably in Texas. Texas, it's kind of warm. Mike says, a bunch of Vikings here in Iowa. Even the chicks are taller than me. Yeah, the corn-fed folks, they're nice and tall. Woodster's saying here, it's been raining here in Wyoming all day, not dry today, Scott. Well, if I take a look back here, depending on what we look at it today, I agree, not there at all. But I was looking at the warning chart. The warning chart was talking about, but you actually got some severe weather in northern Wyoming, not too far from you. A lot of thunderstorm activity into South Dakota. But again, that today, Tamale looks a lot better there for you, Woodster. You'll get some better weather tomorrow, and of course by Wednesday, high pressure dominating. You'll be dried out, be drier than popcorn in no time at all. That's your rain, Woodster. Okay, Vikings Yeah, more like Amazon women. Yeah, I guess so. And Dawn saying I've been in Facebook jail for a few days. Don't know why, but apparently I've been doing mischievous things again, Miss Dawn. Come on now. The rain will miss you. That's why it's got desert state. I was always amazed by that. Hello there. It's Keto Vorgonium checking in from the West Coast there. And you can see the weather for the West Coast. Got a little rain in parts of Oregon. Moved out over Idaho and Wyoming from what I hear. That's today. This is Tamale. We're pulling up out of there. And the day three looking pretty good. Probably some cloudiness, of course, with those low pressure systems. A bunch of rebels, I tell you. Of course you are. Mike, I'm 5'4". My son is 6'1". Good at reaching stuff. I cannot tell you the number of times uh, I am in, I'm, I am used a lot in department stores to reach things on tall shelves, just like Woodster. Why'd you get lost, Woodster? What did you not get? Come on, Woodster, we know better. You got this. All right, let me figure out what's going on here. I really don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay. Oh, it's Sicilian, Grandma 4'9", step stool in the kitchen. Bad when you need one in the bathroom, right? That step stool in the bathroom. Oh, yep, there you go, Don. 6'5", just like myself. Yep, 5'4", 6'5". My mom was 5 short like that, 5'5", 5'6". Yep. Cloudy and cool in Oregon, but of course, yeah, but of course, fall is coming and you can't stop it no matter what you want to do. Grandma 4'11", Alice, I got it. Yeah, I'm pretty much the tallest person in my family by a good margin. El Nino winter coming might be drier and warmer than average for the great Pacific Northwest. Yeah, well, we've had a real good El Nino year, that's for sure. Oh, it's gorgeous with a bit of breeze here today. Good, 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 good. Yeah, you like your tall son so much. The short one, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Yeah, my mom claimed 5'1". We let her get away with it. I get it. I get it. Allison, at Judy, hello, hello, love San Diego. You know, I think I flew into San Diego. Well, I drove through San Diego way back in like the 1979, but that's all I really remember. Not much, not much at all. Yeah, but that's the weather we're looking at. But if we want to look at the, I like to look at, I love looking at satellite pictures. I don't know why. I think it's just because I'm a simple person and I like the pictures, simple people, simple pictures. If I go down here, I can go here and look at the satellite. And I like to look at the, what was the full disk for that? And I'll go to band 9 for water vapor. We'll do the animation loop. We'll embiggen that. We'll go ahead and put in 72 shots. That's pretty nice usually. There we go. There's some weather pictures for you. Yeah. Susan says, I'm tall, but I still have to use my cane to get groceries way up high on shelves at Walmart. Yep. I am used a lot at Walmart, and then I use them to get the dog food and the things that are by my ankles. Yes. Yep, yep, yep. My grandpa and mom was saying we used to play. Oh, that's cool. Body surfed. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not doing it. I've been known to climb a shelf. Hey, one time I was going after the dog food, and I couldn't quite get to it. So I asked this one young lady who was working at Walmart, and she dove in there like she was a sapper back in Vietnam, going into holes. And all of a sudden, all you just saw her feet, and then she came out with the 2 last scans of it. Man, I wanted to hug her, but that was inappropriate, so I didn't. Then a couple of weeks later, I'm in there, and I couldn't reach it because my blessed body was larger than the opening between the shelves. And they were really skinny shelves, I promise you. So I went all down across the way back before they changed everything in Walmart. And I walked over to the baby section and I got one of those parachute strollers. And I was in there with the parachute stroller trying to fish out some of this dog food, canned dog food. And guess what? I attracted attention. And next thing you know, I had a few people coming over, some security people, because there's a fat man on the floor reaching and fighting with it. And anyway, it was kind of hilarious. I wish I could have got the footage. Get him, get Kane to bat stuff down, kind of like doing a pinata, right? There you go, get that pinata thing going. One time, somebody let me ball my husband. Yep, so he was in. But I said, "Well, Mom, you do look a lot younger than my friends' mothers." Aw, yeah. James Bond Kane would have a gun, a knife, self-defense. Yeah. Tried to body surf. I'm not fluent in surfboard. The minimalist carnivore was a big time surfer for a long time. Yeah, he's a keeper. Yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like it. Hello there, Judy. How are you? I see you snuck in there and I didn't give you props. I apologize, everybody. Here, Judy. Judy. Yes. Londwar, you're still hanging in there. Good. I was wondering, well, it's for me. It's time to read the backside of the eyelids. Okay, buddy. You take care, and I'll be lifting you up in prayer for your study for the Azure, and as you go forward for that certification, that's an important thing. I know when we were writing contracts, certifications ruled the day because, I want a person that has 10 years of experience, and I need them to have the following tickets in these different languages and tools. I think that people like to call them tools, and you're doing the right thing. Go get you some of that. Take care, buddy. Sleep well, read well, rest well. All right. So, no. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you coming in. Appreciate everybody smashing the like button, letting people know. Go, hey, we're here. You know what happened last night? How many of you were here to the bloody end last night? We did 2 hours. I don't think we're doing 2 hours tonight. How many of you made it to the bloody end? Well, at the very, very end, finally, I had Sean pipe in, and I've been wanting and would love to have had him in sooner, right? But I didn't get that in. But hopefully, I guess some people come in and they lurk. Do people lurk on YouTube? As you all understand what I mean by lurking? When I did Twitch, that's what people do. They'd open up multiple windows and have the Twitch open. And as long as your volume on the tab, you could mute the tab, but you couldn't mute the video, right? The way Twitch was working is if you left the audio up there but muted the tab, it counted as watch time and a watch instance. So people would just come in and say they're lurking, and they have like 8 tabs open, and then they'd be doing their stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got. Sweet dreams, yeah, sweet dreams of certs. That's why we have kids. Yeah, my kids are tall. My 2 sons are tall. Not as tall as I am, but they're tall. But they're very, very intelligent people. They take after their mama. Bony surfing. I would like to body surf. No, I don't want to body surf. I did do a lot of snorkeling as a kid. But anymore, I'm pretty much staying out of fresh water. Don, the part I hate is getting stuck hanging over the washer while driving to stop it. You are killing me tonight. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't have that problem. I have these long like arms. When I buy a shirt, I not only have to buy it not anymore. I think I can get down to an 18-inch neck now. I'm gone on the 19.5-inch necks, but my sleeves have to be 37 inches long. I have very extraordinary long arms. Yep. Redog says, I think I have more than one open at a time, but I have no idea. Limitless, you're never late. You're only late if the door's closed and nobody's here and the lights are off. And then I expect you to turn the lights off when you leave, okay? Okay, are we clear there? Okay. I work, Allison, so listen, but I get you. No worries. You got to do what you got to do. All right. Yeah, Lindy's in. That was so awesome the other night. I really get it. Body surfing. You said bony surfing. I was like, okay. It's another thing I have to learn. Lisa says I'm a lurker. Okay, I got it. That's all good. It's all good. Dahmer says a thing. And if you catch somebody that's spilled, there goes that shirt. Oh my, yes, that is so funny. Yeah, limitless emits. We're talking about the benefits of being vertically gifted and vertically how it's well grounded. Yeah, you can reach the ground real quick, but getting into the laundry machine and pulling something can end up in, like, what do they have that warning on buckets? So they'll let children get near buckets, they get turned over in a bucket. I guess they say you shouldn't get too near a wash machine then. I'm on the big screen. I've been on the big screen. Anyway, try a chilling dip in Vermont creeks and Mountain Spring. No, thank you. We got a swimming hole out back, and I'm not getting in the swimming hole if it's under 84 degrees. No, I'm not. I am very spoiled. Yep. Well, I need a step stool to grab the dipstick. Now that I get it, and that's I've been on big trucks, and I might even need one of those. I have, yes, bunch of lurker. Oh, I thought about merch I could maybe get for my for here. I don't know. Yeah, give you some maybe get some input. I was thinking about I didn't want to say vertically challenged. That's not in my vocabulary. No, like me, I'm horizontally gifted. You're not short. No one's short. Everybody's legs are just long enough and they reach the ground, right? Yep. Oh, the floating rivers. I know we did that floating a while ago, but no, the idea is I was thinking of a shirt that maybe just had the words meet, eat, repeat. Something like that. Meet, eat, repeat. I don't know. So we have some shortish folks. Maybe we have some gnomes or what was that in the Hobbit? Those the shorter fellows. Yeah. Anyway, I don't remember. My truck is bigger than the last. Tiptoe the best. Hey, yeah. Hey, but here's the deal. I have very, very short legs. Yep. Bet you my inseam isn't much more different than yours, Mike. Yep. I have a 31-inch inseam. You call it a gnome? Okay. I didn't want to use troll. I can't remember what were the not the hobbits. What were the other ones? The that lived in the mountains. Miners. I can't remember. Yeah, who you calling a gnome? Yeah. All right. What's the Molala mostly for me? Okay. All right. You beat Giants in Guatemala. Yeah. We'd go in until this turned blue. Oh, yeah. Troll. No. I'm not calling anybody a troll. No, not an orc. Orcs are ugly. No, the guys with the big beards, and they like to do the rock mining. Oh, not dwarfs. There you go, dwarfs. All right. Husband's 5'11", 205, 3830. All right. Yeah. So if the doctor said if my legs matched my torso, I'd be 6'10". I'm glad I'm not 6'10". I have like a 36-inch inseam pants would be normal enough, but that would be 5 inches too long for me. Depending on how the 31s are cut, 32s I have to hem up. Yeah. So yeah, that's it, 31-inch. So, but my legs, my mom used to tease me. My legs were made and designed by Steinway. Really thick, stubby legs. Yep. Made me good for football because I could get pretty low to the ground and push. And they're strong legs. And like my dad said, they're just fine. They reach the ground where they spread out into ginormous, well, not big. My feet aren't that big. I wear a 13 shoe, but it's got to be like a 4 to 6E. They're pretty wide. With all this standing on top of them, why wouldn't they? Anyway, that's enough of the beautiful little bouncing ball with the low pressure. You see that low pressure system moving right up there through Arkansas up into Missouri. And then you see some more stuff coming into British Columbia. Look, a nice system coming in Northern California right here. Got another one wound up giving Woodster all the rain today. And then we see this system is going to pull across. This is going to be another haymaker coming into Northern British Columbia for my friends in Oregon. They will get to play a little bit with that later. But yeah, we got a little retrograde activity on this low pressure system out here in the Pacific, and the Aleutian Low is just doing what the Aleutian Low does all the time. So we're going to go ahead and lose the extra. We're going to just stop that right now. There we go. Just wear boots. I do wear boots, but then I have to wear a size 14 to size 16 boot to get that club foot into them, and it's all ugly. Yeah, wear boots. I did that in the military for 20 years. I'm not wearing too many more boots, 5.7s, but has his short legs, blame me, and he should. He had a 42-inch vertical leap, though. Wow. Yeah, if I had a 42-inch leap, I'd have been in the NBA. I had the vertical leap to get up on one sheet of paper. Susie, that's some tall brothers. But you're tall too, so that makes sense, right? Grandson 6'4", 6'3". Grandson-in-law 6'7". Yikes. Going through some groceries in that house. Oh, you had a hailstorm pass through an hour ago. Spring in Australia. Yeah. But in Australia, everything goes the other way. I always thought that was fun. Yep, big boys. My boys are in their 30 and 31 or 30 and 32. I can't remember. I know they're born fairly close together, but one was born in 92, the other was born in 93. So I remember that. So one of them is maybe 6'2" and a smidge. The other 6'3" and a smidge. And then there's Pops. Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that, B-Dog. I remember some big hailstorms when I lived in Abilene. And I remember the hailstorms that would happen in Dallas, Fort Worth, and they have to get the plows out to get all that hail up. Yeah. Mike's in there saying, I wonder if the weather goes the other way. Of course they do. Toilets do too. You know that, right? When you flush a toilet in the south, it goes the other way, south of the equator. I wonder if on the equator, does the water swirl? Does it matter? No. So, hey, speaking of that, your baby was born in 82. Seems like yesterday. Yeah. 82. Oh, 82. Yeah, that's a minute ago. See, 1982. I don't remember it very much. Yeah. It was. They tell me I had a good year, but I don't remember it. Yeah, it's all about perspective. You're right about that, Mr. Mike. But when I first started and opened this up, or the way I kind of titled tonight's gathering for things to discuss, consider, and otherwise carry on about, and that was to say here, make sure I got that. Okay, I want to say drop and share thoughts on ideas while we explore what is working, what is not as working as expected. So what is not working for any of you in this ketovore / carnivore lifestyle? John 5:10, throwing weights until the cancer. Yeah. Oh, I bet you. Yeah, I've done that a few times, Dawn. Your stepdog's about that same age. Well, okay. Beale Air Force Base. Yeah, Beale, 1982. Beautiful place. A lot of wide open territory. Oh, well, Beale. I may have thinking Vandenberg. Yeah. Question. Okay. What got me into weather? I held up my right hand and said, I do solemnly swear to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and to follow the orders of those appointed over me. Yep, that's what did it for me. I joined the Air Force in 1984, and I went in under Open General to get a job because I needed a job. And I was a bouncer in a bar and doing all that crazy stuff and trying to go to school. And I realized I was too immature to get very far. So I decided to get out of the swimming pool I was in, join the Air Force. And I went in under Open General because if y'all remember the early 80s, there was something of an economic issue then. And jobs were tough and things were tough. And a lot of people were volunteering to go in. So I had to take 9 months waiting just to get any job they'd give me. So I waited and I went into what they call Open General. And when I got into basic training, they said, okay, here are the things that are open now. you all pick which one you want, but you got to make sure that your ASVAB scores meet with the requirements of that uh, career field. And so I looked at it whether I had dental and medical, and they tried to make me a B-52 tail gunner, but I have no depth perception, so that was a no-go. And without depth perception, I'm not very good at doing and turning 3D in my mind. So when you're building on teeth, and you know how that is. You got to figure out your mesial and your occlusions and your different views that are very important. So they let me go in the weather business. And so I went into weather, became a weather observer for the first few years of my career. After being a weather observer, I went back to forecasting school at Chanute Air Force Base in beautiful Rantoul, Illinois. And at forecast school, I met my bride, and I met her. The first night I met her, I wanted to marry her, but we waited a couple of weeks, and then I popped that on her, and then we got married we got married on Memorial Day, and then we went off and I got stationed in Albuquerque. But yeah, so then I was a weather forecaster, and I did that until I retired. Mm-hmm. So, Keita Bulgarian said, my main issue is trying to figure out what to do for entertainment and recreation that doesn't include food or trigger craving. Yeah, exactly. I've got an area out in I got a detached garage, and that's my area. So I've been working making cement pots and wood things. See, look at this. I made a beautiful wooden stick. I found a log. It had a baby, and that's Amazonian rosewood. And I'm not sure what I was doing with it. Maybe I think I'll make a rolling pin out of that. I make wood stuff. I do some woodworking stuff. I do some painting stuff. I did. I like to do some creative things. So I did some of this, and this is wax with, what is this? I always forget what I want to remember when I do it, but this is wax, about 30 or 40 layers of wax on this piece of wood. And then I use different media colors in there, pastels, oils, inks, and it's translucent. And with the resin that's in here, and with the wax, the beeswax, once it's melted and fused together, this will last. They find it in pyramids, as artwork, 3, 4, 5,000 years. As long as it doesn't get over 120 to 130 degrees, it'll last forever. So yeah, I'm playing around with that. I'm making different things. So I do art things and do the music thing, and yes, those are things I have to do to avoid the food things. Just throwing that out there for you. Well, I gotta go back. Where were we? Hailstorms. Beal, got that question. The weather. That's why I went to the weather. Covered that. I find you don't eat enough. I am having that challenge, I think, too, because I'm not getting to the go as often as I probably would like to go to the getting to go, but we're working through it. Always wanted to visit Australia until I realized almost everything wants you dead, land and sea. And it's a long, long trip. Yep. My man's trying to figure out what to do. Entertainment, that's right. Well, we have this here. Carter Malays. I'm missing you, Mike, but I appreciate you for bringing Carter Malays into the conversation. Oh, you won't bite. Of course not, Limitless. I bet you wouldn't bite. Thank you for your service, Uncle Air Force. Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah. Hey, thank you for your support. I've always been, I don't know if I want to say feel guilty or humbled by people thanking me for my service, but really thank you for your support. It's so important for people, and particularly since after this 20-year plus war we've had, a lot of people really, really hurting. First husband of EOD, loved Beal. Oh yeah, SR71 and U2s. Yep. I was just a hippy dippy weatherman. I worked with the Army for a third of my career, the Air Force a third of my career, and then headquarters doing acquisitions and program support. Yep. Gotcha, Laura. Read you Lima Charlie loud and clear. Allison, Dad was Air Force and then DOE Aerospace until retirement. Sweet. Thank you. And I have a unique perspective. So when I was elected, and they would talk about a lot of things about the military. I was able to relate, but one of the things that was really being worked on in at least the state and the federal level were things for the military children. Don, I was a mortgage party collection to call it during the economic crisis. I do, man, I hate it. I know it. I bet. But what military children go? You're high in 82. Yeah, I was. I was inebriated. I never did smoke marijuana, and have no desire to do so now. I had a brother who was too involved with things like that, and he ended up dead. So I don't do it. Never did. Woodster says I'm not thinking of anything specific that's not working. Have my struggle, maybe occasional craving. Thank you for bringing it back on topic there, Woodster. Yeah, I think that I think cravings are sometimes abated just by having a goal in your mind. It's okay. I'm not um, as fixated, and because we know food is kind of like the root of our provides us our impetus to be doing what we're doing. We're supposed to go to Arkansas, Fairbanks, meteorology, minor in communication. Had to find another way. I got it. Yeah, it's a great woodworking tool. Mom did carving and stained glass. I've done some stained glass. That's really cool. I'm actually looking. I'm actually looking into doing this. Gentleman who does a lot of it. It's a whole movement where you go and you get colored glass, not stained glass, but you can get colored glass and the little colored beads. Now those are painted, but if you get actual colored glass like green glass, blue glass, and stuff, not bluegrass, and you break it into pieces, and then you take silicone and you get like a window. You go to a resale store. What's it called? A restore for Habit for Humanity, and they have windows there, wood framed windows. You take the window, you clean it off really good, and then you arrange the glass. You get an idea of a pattern, and you just use the clear silicone and you glue the colored glass to the window, right? And you can do all of that, and then put it up, and the light shines right through, and it's very much like stained glass. And if you want to, you can then pour some clear epoxy resin over it. I'm gonna do some of that too here coming up. Yep, God had bigger plans. That's right. That's right. God always does, doesn't he? Always has bigger and better plans. Just we cause a lot of strife along the way, but it'd be a lot easier if we would submit earlier. Most high school class were high most of the time. Yep, I got that. Mine too. I'm also looking forward to reaching the first step of goals and then being able to add back in some of the other things I do. Yeah, but you know that whole adding back is a really really good point there, which in that would when you go back and you start adding the maintenance, do you think there's a place where the or how do I say it? A feedback mechanism to know what you added back isn't working, that you can have it act quicker than the insidious nature of some things, and then it's like you don't realize it that you've been having too many Ritz crackers. I'll use Ritz because everything tastes better sitting on a Ritz, right? And then, but now you're already into it so far you didn't realize how far. So maybe that feedback loop is real important. There were a lot of great live. Say, yep, every day has some really great lives. I'm sorry I missed them. Lloyd's Way always amazing. That's right. Carnivore community, not carnivore. That's a good one. That is a good one. Yes, he is good. He's told me something. I want to look back and see how he has brought me through. I know. Is that not true? I mean, I tell you what, it is amazing. Yeah, we wouldn't. So, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You. It's very humbling. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, back on topic. OMAD carnivore going well, no struggles. Well, good, good, good. I'm glad. Thank you. I had avocado. Go ahead. Got a lot of plenty good fat. We can't be dogmatic about it. My goal is OMAD. I know that is where you should be. Are you sure that's where you need to be? May not be. I love avocados. But don't miss them. Yeah, because I like to put jalapeno in mine. Speaking of which, last week when we went out, I went ahead and got a hamburger. I got the hamburger with nothing on it. Got two patties. Everything was great. My wife got the chicken tacos. That was great, but it was missing the side of habanero sauce. So we asked the manager about it. He said, "Oh, you got to have the habanero sauce." So they brought out a whole tray of chicken tacos for everybody and a couple things of habanero sauce. I had the habanero sauce. Anyway, that was that. I was a PK. Yep, nickname Wild Woman. Yep, that is Joe. Went to church, made 4 layer tort. I told my friends that Pat King was. He says, "Wow, Don, you're some kind of wild woman." So I was named. Yeah, I get that. PKs. Tandy leather. Yeah, Tandy. Yeah. Glass paint that frosted up. I used it with a fountain pen and glass fills. Yeah. Oh, that is nice. Cool. That's some cool stuff. Here's what I found to be true and seems to be common across carnivore cooking. Cheese, heavy cream yogurt will stall the weight loss. Yeah, I think I know. And I told you I bought some heavy cream this week with my friend coming in, and we like to have some coffee and that. But you're right, heavy cream. I tell you what, elimination, key to the whole success for us. Your first goal is 270. Where you at today? Or what was your last benchmark there for yourself at Woodster? Heavy cream cross. Yep. You know what I just did? I got one of those little whipping sticks. I finally did it. I got the whipping stick. It's so cool. I didn't get the USB powered one. I got the one that takes the AA batteries. I learned real quick. And Dr. Berry showed us, but did I pay attention? The answer is no. Put a little coffee in and a little butter in. Whip it together, then mix in the rest of the coffee. Don't make the whole cup kind of full because that little wizard send that stuff straight up and make a mess. Learn to clean the counter, Mr. Scotty. That's right. All right. You first go with right. Whip it good. Whip it real good. Yeah, froth. Yes. I guess you'd call it froth or a whip it stick. I don't know. You have all days of butter. Have a couple of tablespoons. You know what else I add? I also add some MCT oil because I like MCT oil, and I'll fight you. You got back to your lows at 291, but that's funny. We'll see how things go. All right, good. It's a journey. It's not a destination, right? Because I think, and for you, Woodson, you are going to have to be careful for one thing. Lactic tab, drop in, it's not no issues. Yeah, get it. And that is being as young as you are, eating as much protein as you are. And I do believe some of the doctors, Dr. Tony Hampton, and another doctor was saying, we really don't have a lot of good information on how a body will respond to a proper human diet, eating as much protein as we do, along with the proper fats. We really don't have a great body of evidence. So you may find after sprinting and doing things, Worcester, is that weight goal becomes secondary to your belt goals, your strength goals, your sprinting goals, those things, right? The weight may become secondary and maybe even tertiary because you find out that you're revolumizing your muscles, you're strengthening your tendons, and your bone density is increasing. So I know those things won't go up as fast as you lose the body weight in burnt and expended fat, but that slowdown may just be that transmogrification of your body. Yeah, you're getting transmogrified. You heard it here. I had to put transmogrification brought to you by meat. That would be a great shirt too. Yep. Okay, there's a frother, off all dairy. And there we go, 291. So good. And then congratulations, by the way, too, Woodster. Lactic acid. It's hard to follow all this. Dairy, diastole, borrowed time. Yeah, we're all different, right? John and I used to make Tandy leather purse. You put them in. I'd carve, paint, custom design. Oh, that's so cool. I'd like to do get a new wallet. At least you might be able to do it. Give me 3 to 4 things now to eliminate. 3 to 4 things. There you go. We don't we have most of this? That? Well, I mean, yes, point well taken. Thank you. But we didn't measure goodness, right? I think that's what my point is. We didn't really have like a blood test that said this is your goodness, um, particularly as juxtaposed against the sad way of eating, right? So the um, the number of people who are transitioning from SAD to the PhD and how that slope of change, right? And the biomarkers that are associated with that change, to include the epigenetic factors, are poorly understood at best. I think that's where I was going. Dr. Hampton, yep, yeah, good for men too. Good for men too, because here's the deal: women have testosterone, and men have estrogen. And a smart man will understand women stuff. Yes, you will. You understand those phases, and you understand all the challenges of the hormonal concert going on in a lady's body, and you'll be better off with knowledge. And that's my opinion. Thank you. Your body is transmogrifying. Yeah, you guys will get to see the difference it's making. And we are so looking for that, not just to see it, but to hear it in the achievements that are going to be. So, my wife paid me the greatest um, compliment yesterday. She, I was vacuuming the pool, and the little hose. You got the long thing, and you got to do the vacuuming, and then we got a flying. What do you call those things? A sun sail. So the cords, I don't have them up high enough. And anyway, try not to decapitate myself. And I'm pulling this vacuum with a big long hose, and I almost got caught up in it. And I was able to do a little happy dance around it. And she noticed, and she said, "You wouldn't have been able to do that a couple of months ago." And that's right. Yep, that's right. I'll be doing the next 2 months. There you go. And then we go to my lactose intolerance is the important, but I do it does well because I think you have less milk solids, not no milk solids, and so maybe that's why it helps with the heavy cream. Yep, I do big at it, slowly eliminating. Yep, I kind of cold turkey on a lot of things, but I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I get rid of Diet Coke. Yeah, a Diet Coke. I get it, Lisa. I like that Coke Zero stuff. I like the um, Dr. Pepper, Diet Dr. Pepper, and I like the Pepsi Zero. Oh, that hits me right in the feels. Right in the feels. Well, I heard someone say, Mike, that once we get our bodies healed from the years of the sad way of eating and whatever is unique to us, that it may be that you can reincorporate. And for my wife, I know that for years and years, she would get what you would call basically a niacin flush. When she would eat an apple or anything citrus, her face would get beet red and she'd get really hot, one bite in. And then she might even get itchy, right? So she didn't eat it. Well, she'd been changing her diet pattern over the many, many years, and she can now eat, and she eats a pear or some apple, and she still doesn't do citrus great, but it doesn't send her into as bad of a response. So perhaps after getting healthy and reincorporating things, and along with proper exercise and nutrition and rest and mental clarity, de-stressing, and making that become the norm, maybe the reintroduction of lactic type products might not be as deleterious. We're going to use that word twice in one night as it had been before. We'll have to wait to see. Susan loves some dairy, and Mike says, "I'm sorry, I'm just being goofy." The ENFP. Yeah, I understand. You're okay. Okay, so I have less NSVs to look forward to, Scott. I had medical health. Yeah, the list, but just so yes, the weight, appearance, what's to look for. Well, wait, but your NSVs are going to be important for you to discover, so that you have that additional uh, uh, impetus and purpose. And I would think that being able to run one more of your sprints would be an NSV. I would think that your ability to roll around on the floor with the children and play frisbee with the dog, and the energy levels and your engagement. There you go. Your engagement and your presence. Because how many of us can talk about when you're really tired and when your body is in fatigue? It's very hard to be present in the conversations around you. That's a great NSV. Try some of the ditch coffee. I enjoy morning routine. Yeah, I got it, Don. I do too. But you know what? I have found that I can do without the coffee if I do a big glass of water, and that helps. The other thing, I use a percolator to do my coffee. Do any of you do any percolator at all? I don't know if you do a percolator. Oh, you're heading out, Mike? Okay, I know you got a big day tomorrow, Mike. Thanks for coming by. Thank you for sharing with us. And I trust that your a long day of editing and all you do goes well tomorrow, and that everything you get to look at first cuts works for you, that matching things up is easy and your audio tracks are smooth. Take care, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. So, yeah, does anybody else perk their coffee, or is everybody, or are we all Keurigs or instants, or how does those who do coffee, how do you do the coffee? Anybody? Like I said, we do have a Keurig. The wife loves her Keurig. And then we do the regular pods and the refillable pods. And let's see, then I have the percolator. I have a camp percolator. I'll do cowboy coffee. And then I have a whole bunch of emergency freeze-dried coffee, instant coffee also. You've got the bun. Oh, we have one of those too, a drip. That's what I call a drip. I have one of those, and I pull that out when it's wintertime and we have our small group church meeting here, because 16 empty nest adults. So what is that, about eight and a half? I should have 8.5 couples meet at my house for our church small group. We can go through some coffee. So you got to have the Mr. Coffee, my percolator, and the individual one, the Keurig, so we can keep up on coffee. Most of the guys who are prior service, old guys like me, they'll drink their black coffee and it's no big deal. But yeah. All right, instant coffee for Susan. Okay, so what brand of coffee? What brand of coffee do you use, Susan? What is this coffee you speak? Yeah, I get you. Vito, I got a percolator. Nope, I got my percolator. You betcha. And it's not a great big one, but it's one I love. I make 8 cups and I'll drink that. I used to be about a 4-pot-a-day coffee abuser. And because I worked a lot of shift work. And then I went from 4 pots. Doc told me I needed to cut it down to about 1 pot a day. So I did it. So I do an 8 cup, which is not really 8 cups. So I do about 8 of the little cups. Yeah. 2 regular cups a day. My folk boil. Yep. Camp coffee. That's what I do. Yep. I'll do it. I've got a strainer for it. I don't care. Camp percolator and electric percolator. Sweet. Well, I think you've probably heard me say, but dang, must have good size space. Oh, I've got lots of space. Space is not an issue. We built this house. When we had this house built, we cheapo. I got it. I got cheapo too. It doesn't matter as long as it's warm. There you go. Yeah, I don't have all 4 pots out at the same time, but I can. But when we had this house built, because we were very active in our church and our community, we did some swapping around. So we had a little bit embiggened, and then we made the dining room and the living room kind of together, and the kitchen is off to the side, and I've got a bunch of counter space and a nice size island, and so I have plenty of room. Plenty of room. Yeah. Recovering Diet Coke addict. I got it. Dunkin' Donuts hazelnut. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. One day maybe I'll bring it in. But my daughter bought me a coffee of the month club thing for this year. So I'm getting Guatemalan and Tanzanian and all the things you might expect. And They come in bean. I grind. I got a little grinder, and I used to roast my own. I used to roast my tour. Oh yeah, sure. I'll take a coffee tour. But yeah, so I do that. Yep, I love that. You're right, and I love it because when I even roasted. So you can roast your own coffee at home. It's very very simple. You can take the time to roast it in a pan. I don't recommend you do it indoors, or you can get one of those hot air popcorn poppers. Yes, you can, but you can only get a light to maybe a first crack medium. But and I'd recommend doing that in a garage or outdoors as well. But you can just measure a cup like you would for popcorn. Get your hot air going on that thing and let it run for about a minute to get good and warm. Then you pour the the raw coffee beans into your hot air pour. And I made a special stick because it won't turn at first because of the weight. So you help turn it, and it's turning and turning and turning, and then it is start browning up. And as it browns up and it gets lighter in weight, the mass is reduced because the rapid evaporation of the moisture. And then there's a little bit of an outer core that makes like a chafe, and that will blow all over the place. And your beans will be cooking and cooking and cooking. And about 6 minutes to 6.5 minutes, well, actually about 5 minutes, you'll hear a little light cracking, and that's the coffee bean cracking, which they call first crack. And you now have a light roast, and you can leave it in for a little bit more and get a little bit darker roast. And then you pour it out into a flat pan, and you let it cool, and you cool it as quick as you can in that flat pan. Then you take those beans that are freshly roasted and you dump them in a big glass jar, kind of like maybe a 1 quart canning jar, a big mason jar, and you seal it down. And when you open the seal the next day or 2 days later, you will get assaulted by the aroma of that fresh roasted coffee. Then you take that and you go to your little seed grinder, coffee grinder. You get those at Walmart, and you pour some of those in there, and you put the little thing, turn it, push the button, medium grind. You push that button, boom, and it is heavenly. So anyway, big dog, good night. All right, we'll see. Oh, you did night shift. I'm sorry, you said go to bed. I did night shift too, on and off, for 20 years in the military. You betcha, buddy. I might do a couple in the AM, doesn't hit the spot for me. Oh, I get it. You real code might not like, oh, hey, look, I have drank stuff that would make a goat puke. Okay. When I make my coffee and I make the 8-cup one, and I don't drink all of it, I'll let it go to the next day. Of course, I take the grounds out and the little percolator thing. I'll reheat it the next day. I got no pride on that. I'll reheat that one and then pour it off, and then I'll make the next pot. No problem there. I love it. That one day maybe I'll do a video on roasting my own coffee beans, because now what you can do, you can go online or you can go to your local coffee house and you can get certified organic coffee beans that have been well sourced, and you can get whatever, and then you can roast it the way you want it. And I will tell you that coffee has a much better flavor than the Folgers you pulled out of the can or the plastic container, right? And it is so uniquely different that I can drink it black. Yes, I can. Mm-hmm. The love or the passion of the coffee. Yeah. So, yep. We had a missionary affiliate with our church that sold coffee to support local farmers. Yep. Yeah. Hey, do it. Do it. Do it. No, I love the coffee, and if it gets to be a problem, I know I can stop it. But as long as my daughter bought it, I am going to honor and respect her financial commitment to funding my passion. So you break your fast between 12 and 2 with coffee. Sweet, good. Your daughter grinds her coffee beans. Yeah. Have to get some shut-eye, folks. Okay, Laura, you take care. Thank you. God bless. Sleep well. Adoro video. You want me to do a video? I'll do a video. I got to do it though in my messy garage, so I might have to clean it up a little bit. Yes, I will. I used to do piecework in baby clothes. I talk about coffee paint. Oh yeah, pot a day. Yeah, that's me. I have quite the coffee cup collection. Yes, I do. But yeah, so maybe you know what? Thank you. I think I will. I'll do a coffee roasting thing and make some first crack coffee, and then I'll wait, and then I'll grind some coffee, and then I'll make the coffee, and then I'll drink the coffee, and hmm, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I mean, you can get kind of ridiculous too, with the whole coffee thing. I looked into buying my own roaster that would have a computer program. You can put your laptop to it so you can watch all. Because most people don't know when you take that coffee bean and you roast it, it goes through like 1,200 plus chemical reactions because of the heat. Yes, it does. And they learned about coffee because some Ethiopian goat herders noticed that when the goats ate the cherries, and most people don't know, but coffee, uh, the coffee beans, the seeds actually, are the center part of a cherry, a sweet cherry. And after the goats would eat the cherries in season, they would hop around and act all crazy, like me, a little too much coffee. And so that's when they started to experiment with it and found out. And of course, they would always, it'd be a ceremonial thing because they didn't have the great big, huge farms for it. But anyway, that's coffee. And we've been on here for 1 hour and 46 minutes. So here's what we're going to do. And it is a 10:35 local time. I know people are starting to get tired. So what we'll do is we're going to start wrapping around. We're going to go just around the room. If anybody wants to bring something up, for the good of the gathering and the people, let me know. And let us share that. So we ask what's going good. We ask what might not be going well with your carnivore journey. We talked a little bit about cravings. Of course, we mentioned coffee. We mentioned milk and milk challenges. Lawnmower was talking about doing some additional things to enrich his resume for preparing for a new job search. Mike's going to be doing some editing. Of course, we still have to pray for those who swallow chicken bones and are in healing. So seriously, that's important here. All right. Allison, the more discussions you do, the more your personality comes out. Yeah, I know. We got a lot of that, huh? Yeah, no shot, no what do you call that? No shortage of personality, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, we can definitely talk about all sorts of things, and when anybody wants to bring up a topic, I'm totally open to it. This is our get together, right? I mean, I think that's one of the problems is that we sometimes forget that as we go along, it's not just us; it's all of you. So 11:35 for Susan. That's right. Carolinas are on the Eastern time zone. Of course, we're about right time for Robert Bubba Baker to drop in. Love watching Robert's videos. They're awesome. He's a stoic, and today he was talking about lifting weights, and it's really been working. Week 23 for him, and he's down about 50 pounds. That's awesome for him. Yes, Dawn, you have a good evening as well. And you definitely be praying for all y'all tonight. And it's an amazing thing to be able to pray, isn't it? I get an opportunity to pray in my reading I do on my other channel. And I have had people tell me that they don't really tune in for my reading because they know how to read. But the discussion and the prayers are a blessing, and I think that's true. It is great to serve a God who is willing to listen to us, who wants to listen to us, and that in our conversations with our heavenly Maker, we get an opportunity to learn more about God, because it's such commonplace thing to treat God like a slot machine or a vending machine. God, I need this. God, I want this. God, give me this. God, give me that. And not really, letting God just speak to our hearts and just being like, sometimes I think about like Opie and Sheriff walking down the road and just wanting to learn more about that father figure, walking alongside our father and just um, in in a waiting state versus an asking state, just just to be in his presence and just to see his glory. But again, the first part of that, of course, is getting right with God, right? I think it's Amos 5:6 says, seek God and live, repent and live, choose the path of life. So I really love being able to pray to the God I serve. It's awesome. And I hope that you all do as well, and you all have a fantastic evening, and that you are rejuvenated, and that tomorrow brings you opportunities to do the work that He has set before your hands, and that you will find joy in that work, regardless of what it is. And I know sometimes there are people who have angelic voices and sing. Other people are encouragers. Others are teachers. Some, like me, is I am a worker. I'm a schlepper. My gift is um, to provide a service, normally in the physical realm. I pick things up, I move things, I cook things, I clean things, I set chairs and take down things. That's my gift set. So everybody has theirs, and I think that when we find them and we use them and we do them not for our glory but for His glory, there's a sense of deep peace and joy. And for a person such as yourself, Woodster, where you're bringing up your young children there, um, your gift and your talents are married up with your wife's for the rearing of your children, and they take on many forms. And I know when I was a young father, it was a challenge for me. But what am I supposed to do? Well, what I'm supposed to do is be the father to my children, the leader of my house, and that's a full-time job. I love the God with all my heart, all my soul, and all my mind, and then raise my children and be the husband that I'm called to be. That's enough. I don't need a gift like playing guitar. That's it. Hard thing to learn for me. Very hard. All right. Well, thank you all. You all take care. God bless. And we'll see you around. I'm going to try to do this each night, normally probably Monday through Thursday. And we'll meet tomorrow. Maybe we'll find some topics that we can talk about. And if y'all want, you can always email me at carnivorescott@gmail.com. Pretty simple, all one word. It's in my bio of the About Me page. If you have a question, comment, if you have a prayer request and you want to send it to me in an email, by all means do that. Just go ahead and send an email to me, and I will pray for you either privately or in my morning prayer on YouTube. Whatever way you want to do it, I will definitely respect you. But you all take care, and we'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Oh, and I have a tagline. I like to say this, all right? If we as believers are fully engaged in the things we're supposed to be doing, and we know we have our eyes on the cross, and we are working in earnest towards that, wouldn't that make us free of the worldly concerns and many of the things the world is trying to interject on us? So when we do that, I like to say as my closing, I hope that each and every one of you are Jesus free, because in Jesus we are free of this world. We may be in it, but we are not of it. So I like to say that. So in case you hear me say that, when it comes out in the future, you'll know that I'm not saying I'm free from Jesus. No, quite the obvious, or the obverse, or the opposite. I am free because of Jesus. So Jesus free. So y'all take care. Good night. Be blessed. Bye. Really, if I push the button, where is the button? There it is. Good night.